Yo, what is up, guys? It is Archimedes Aizen here, back at it again with another video. Now, pretty much this will actually be part 2 of the journey of Ichigo's royal journey. And I'm already butchering. It's like 20 seconds into the video. Basically, yeah, this is part 2. So far, the first part's doing pretty well. So yeah, and my link, just like I said in part 1, will be in the description below. And pretty much, yeah, without further ado, guys, I'll do a little bit of explaining before I start the what if, but it's basically the intro's done. So basically, if you guys don't know what I mean or don't understand last part, I said I didn't really understand it. I didn't really explain that Rukia being there. So basically, Ichigo's existence created I guess a rift between Byakuya actually meeting Hisana, which would have led to Rukia being there. So I'm gonna explain it here, so there's no any confusion if it ever does come along. So pretty much what would happen is after Misaki died, then Byakuya would have met Hisana. I think that's the more logical reasoning. So yeah, that's what have occurred. So instead of Byakuya getting his Shikai from the death of Masaki, it would have, Hisana, it would have pretty much been before Masaki in a sense. So I wanted him to have Shikai before. So it would have been way better and a little more understandable. Since having it's Byakuya, it has to be strong in some way. How do you just not have Shikai? So pretty much without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this what if, or resuming. But yeah, roll that intro. Now we resumed this what if right after the fight between Ichigo and Kenpachi. Now, pretty much they just went all out. I mean, Kenpachi admitted he won, but it was sort of like a tie, and pretty much Unohana can see that Kenpachi is slowly starting to slowly release his seals on himself that he put there since he wants to win a fight. So he restrains himself. So you can see this due to Ichigo's raw strength. This causes Kenpachi to start to want to become stronger and stronger. So which is pretty good, so pretty much Unohana's kind of worried because then she wouldn't be able to fulfill her forgiveness for her sin for originally causing Kenpachi to restrain himself. So, yeah. So basically, after Ichigo and Kenpachi would have recovered from their fights, they would have went back to the 11 squad, and pretty much Kenpachi would have received a mission. Now, this mission would have been like a joint mission with Squad 13, or Ukitake's squad. Now, they were gonna hunt down the squad that killed Kai and Shiba. So they were already prepared for a hollow that can't be sensed, and it's pretty well. It's not like it's pretty well classed in the Menos Grande, system. So they would have met up, and they would have been prepared to go on this hunt for the hollow, and they would be in that same forest. They would be walking around, and there wouldn't just be that hollow, like that one hollow that killed Kaien. It would have been hundreds of other hollows. So they would have probably spent the next day just cutting down as many hollows as they can. So pretty much what would happen is maybe that next evening or that next early morning, they would have met or ran into that hollow. So the hollow is basically completely different from what it originally was because it possessed Kain's body. So pretty much it would dash towards Ukitake, going to try to slash him with his hands, its bare hands, it had claws. So it was trying to slash him, and pretty much Ukitake would dodge. He couldn't really use his Shikai in that situation since there's no energy attack to redirect, and he's a little more sick. Which is why Rukia had to kill that hollow. So yeah. So pretty much what would happen is Ichigo would take his katana out of his sheath from his waistband, and he would kind of like raise his sword in the air before pretty much just like slashing it down. Now this would cause like a pure wave of just Ryatsu to escape from his blade, and it would go, and the hollow would turn around just like the few mere seconds before being hit, like down straight down the middle of his chest, and pretty much just to cause like blood to like escape from his chest. And pretty much what he would do next is he would put his fingers towards the hollow, and he would do Bakuro number 61, Rikujo Koro, and this would pretty much bound the hollow in restrainments. Now, pretty much what would happen next is, Rukia would go try to use Sode no Shuriyuki and use her first dance to basically cause a circle of ice to appear from under the hollow and to trap him. So, pretty much then she would do her second dance, Hakura, I think that's the name, and she was like Sunegamai Hakura. Hakuren, probably. So she would pretty much she would stab this ground 4 times before releasing an ice wave. This would kind of like counteract with the other, and she was hoping that it would shatter, it would completely get frozen by the first one, and then once it was hit by the second one, it would kind of like shatter into little pieces. You know how you see in some shows where the main character has ice abilities and it causes the people to shatter into little pieces? It's kind of like that, and that's what she was hoping for, but that's actually what happened. But the hollow seemed to have high speed regeneration and managed to conceal himself. So interesting hollow, So pretty much what would happen is after the attack would land, like I said, the hollow would pretty much regenerate and it would get back up, and for some reason Ichigo's attack wore off and the ice wore off. So they knew the only way was like a combination attack that completely erased him from existence. So Ukitake would kind of gather his Shikai, and what he was going to do is have Ichigo send a Getsuga at Ukitake with Rukia, and it would have kind of been like an ice type Getsuga in a sense, and Ukitake would send it back twice the power, and hopefully maybe they would take down the hollow, and this is what they did, obviously using Kido, so to bound the hollow, let's just say like 61, 62, and 63. Bakudo number 61, 62, and 63. Then they would, Ichigo would then like grab the bandage on the handle of his sword before like swinging it above his head, before bringing it back down with enough momentum, or a lot of momentum, before releasing the Getsuga, and this would go right for Rukia, and Rukia, or like in the middle, near her at least, and then she would use her Hakuren, and it would merge with the Getsuga before being sent at Ukitake. Ukitake would use his Shikai, send it back at full power, maybe twice the power, maybe 3 times, at the hollow, and it would be quite big. It would have been huge, like one of Ichigo's holified Bankai Getsugas, like the one he used in the Hellverse movie when they were first going in. It caused the size of a nuke cloud, and it's kind of like that. So this completely destroyed the hollow. There was nothing remaining, not even a slime, like a piece of slime left, because it was kind of more slime based. That's how we took over Kaien's body, kind of like the sludge villain. So after they pretty much took down the hollow, they would have grieved. I mean, not Ichigo. He didn't really know Kaien that much. I mean, even though, he has no relations to the Shiba clan, so he's not like Kaien's cousin or something like that. So he has no relation to the Shiba clan. So that's what's completely different. He has no relation to Kukaku or Ganju. So that's definitely the impact of Ichigo being a noble. At first, when I was recording the video, I was like, I could just make him a Shiba that was born in Soul Society, but I kind of want to make my own twist. I want to do something that people weren't expecting. So pretty much what would happen is after the mission, it would have pretty big mission. This hollow was like maybe lieutenant, captain class, and they all took him out. So let's just say Kenpachi was very happy at Ichigo, like so happy that they had another spar, and let's just say it went the same way, of course. So let's just say the Gotai 13, and Central 40. I mean, Central 46 doesn't really do much, but they don't want Ichigo and Kenpachi to basically spar. I know it's kind of like a tangent I'm going up, but I'm trying to build some story. Okay, Ichigo and Kenpachi are strong. They should never fight, because then Squad 11 division, it wouldn't exist. The barracks wouldn't be there. It would be destroyed. It would either be destroyed by like Kenpachi's sword swings or Getsuga. So before I go into any more tangents, we'll do another time skip. I'd say about maybe 5 years. Now, after the 5 years, Ichigo would have went on his own like training arc. Like, he would have still done missions for the 11th division, but in this time, Ishin would have defected. Not really the same way. Ishin would have still defected and pretty much like saved somebody else, like saved another Quincy, but the outcome would have been completely different. So pretty much what would happen is he would save another Quincy in a sense that was in the world of living, but was from the Kurosaki clan, and it would have they wouldn't have had a kid or something like that. No, the Quincy would have just died a few years later, maybe like 20 years later, and Ishin would have just gotten his Shinigami powers and would have just kind of been like the pseudo version of the Shinigami Daiko. He would have went with his the life of a doctor, but he wasn't really in Shinigami form that much. Only when there's like a hollow nearby. I know it's hard to explain, but it's hard to explain this whole process. So, also in these 5 years, Ichigo would have learned his Bankai. That's very, important. Like, he would have learned it in maybe 1 year. Then the next 4 years, he would master it. So, yeah. It's good for Ichigo to master his Bankai. Because the first time, he didn't really master it quite well. And over time, he mastered it well. Or better, at least. So, what would happen is Ichigo would get proficient in Kido, Hakuda, just every form of being Shinigami. Because he's been thinking about becoming a captain of Squad 10. So what happened is he would go to Byakuya and he would request, a meeting, a captain's meeting, a proficiency exam, so he can try to become a captain of Squad 10. And pretty much Byakuya would have been quite proud of Ichigo for his progression in all these years. And Rukia would have gotten a promotion to third seat in her division. There would have been two third seats, since Ukitake didn't want to replace the lieutenant's position. So he just made 2 third seats. I mean, he technically can do that. He is the captain of that division, so he just found a loophole. So what would happen is Byakuya would kind of, I guess in a sense, start the exams. And all, maybe Captain Kyoraku, Captain Ukitake, Yamamoto, and Soifun would have been there. So, So, pretty much, they would start the captain's proficiency exam, and pretty much, they would start to tell Ichigo, they would, have another contestant who was, wanting to apply for Squad 10, and this would have been Toshiro. So, Toshiro would have mastered his own Bankai. Not mastered, would have had his own Bankai. So, pretty much what would happen is they would have them fight each other, not to the death or anything, just fight. And pretty much they would want them to have use their own Bankai to see which one is better, in a sense, so they know who is better at being captain. It wouldn't just been the spar. They would have done a test to see which situation would play out and what would they do. And Ichigo would have pretty much done that test just like Toshiro. They would have done a Kido test, a Hakuda test, so that's why Soifun's there for the Hakuda, and Ho-Ho. Yamamoto was there for Kido. He's very proficient in Kido. And pretty much Ukitake and Shunsui were there for the swordsman part. Then Ichigo would have had his own spar. So pretty much Ichigo and Toshiro's fight would start, and pretty much he would unsheath his blade from his waistband, and he would immediately go into Shiga. He's not underestimating Toshiro. He looked at his mission ratio. I don't want to say ratio, but how many missions he did, and he has no failed mission. All the missions he did, he completed all of them with success. So I mean, Ichigo did do that as well. It's just like, it's just a reminder that he shouldn't like hold back. So he would go immediately to Shikai, raise his blade, and use a Getsuga. Now, Toshiro was immediately ready to block, but out of nowhere, the Getsuga would disappear into nothing. And pretty much he would put his guard down, and pretty much Ichigo was expecting this. So he would appear behind Toshiro, and he would kind of punch him in the back of the face, in the back of the head, and like kind of like in the neck area, like hitting a point in his muscles, and then he would have done it in maybe the back area and then the back of the knees. And Soifon would have been seeing this, and she knew these are one of the major weaknesses in the Shinigami's body, of course, when it comes to fighting. And she would have been quite surprised, because since only like Shihoans know this, so it would have maybe she was thinking maybe Yoruichi left something behind to Byakuya, like when she taught him, I mean. So after Ichigo would basically like punch his nervous system, like basically almost like weakening his Ryatsu at that point, he would then pretty much jump back, and Toshiro would just get his sword towards Ichigo before activating his Bankai, Daigiden Hyorimaru, and pretty much Ichigo would put a sword, towards Toshiro, and his bandages of his Zangetsu would wrap around his forearm before he would go into Bankai. If I said I really want to say Bankai, but I feel like I would screw it up. So like I not screw it up like how you say it, but just like the tone, like how Ichigo says it. He's like Bankai. He has that certain tone. I can't do that tone. It's not within my power. So pretty much he would do Bankai, and a huge explosion of blue Ryatsu would happen, and it would start to turn into red, and it would pretty much cause a tornado of Ryatsu to form. And good thing they were in like a room created by Mayuri, so this room wasn't getting destroyed, no matter how many Bankais you put in here. Even the Sogyoku couldn't destroy this room. So pretty much what would happen is Ichigo would then appear with his sword, and he would kind of like swing it, like not at Toshiro, but to get the, how when Ichigo, when he first uses Bankai, there's a little like a wind surrounding his blade, so he like swinged it and it disappeared in a sense. It's kind of a cool nostalgic moment. It was kind of like that. So Ichigo would then be revealed in his Bankai, and Yamamoto and the other captains would be like, that doesn't look like Bankai at all. Even Byakuya was thinking this. And pretty much what would happen, I mean, only Soifon wasn't thinking this, since she has quite a small Shikai. Nobody really thinks, like when they didn't see her Shikai or don't even know her, they think that little sting is going to do something. So she kind of expecting something big to come out of this. So Toshiro be like, what's that little thing gonna do? Not like arrogantly, but he's like, he's questioning him to himself. Before Ichigo would appear out of nowhere, his sword to Toshiro's neck. And pretty much Ichigo is like, so you're thinking, only the blade changed. What's this gonna do? And he answers the question, well, this is what's gonna do to you. This is what's gonna do to you. Okay, yeah. So he's basically explaining, like, Toshiro thinks, hey, this blade is weak. This blade cannot reach me. It's the only thing that changed with his Bankai is a different blade. So Ichigo, pretty much speed blitzing him, showed the difference between their power. So then he would back away, and Toshiro questioned him, why'd you take your sword away from my throat? Not that Ichigo was going to kill him or anything. It's just like he could have easily won that. And pretty much Toshiro would have seen this as arrogant. Why would he take his sword away from his neck? He basically would have won already. And he would have got a little mad before using Hyori Senbi, a dragon's tail. And he would have swung his sword down. A huge iceberg would kind of be sent towards Ichigo. Ichigo would then, coat his sword in Getsuga before, actually putting more Ryatsu into it and keeping the pressure of the Getsuga into his blade before just swinging it. This would, cause the iceberg to be split into millions of tiny pieces, and the Getsuga would be sent at Toshiro. Toshiro would then use a Bakudo number 81, Danku, and which Ichigo predicted when he would start flash stepping around Toshiro, like, making after images. Yo, someone actually told me that making after image was subsonic, but that's off topic. So pretty much he would be running around or flash stepping around Toshiro, making as many after images as he can. And he would start to, like, Toshiro would start to send as many isotexts as he can to try to, like, eliminate which one was a after image or which one wasn't. But, like, pretty much Ichigo would appear behind Toshiro before stabbing him in that same place he stabbed Byakuya with his Bankai. And pretty much what would happen is he would have infused some Getsuga into this, so it would have done way more damage. So instead of just like stabbing through, he would have twisted it, and it would up a few inches. And a few inches when you're stabbing someone, that's a lot. So he would then use a binding spell like Bakudo number 61, before then using Bakudo number 79, Kyoshibari, and kind of keeping him in place. So then Toshiro would then lose, and pretty much the captains would have figured out what his Bankai is. And pretty much Soifan would be quite surprised. I mean, everyone is. So they all realized that what Ichigo does is he compresses all that Ryatsu into his blade, into his outfit, into everything, like just himself, and it gives him immense speed, strength, and movement, and the opponent couldn't keep up. So yeah, they would explain his Bankai, and then after that, Ichigo would then be handed over would be told he's captain of Squad 10, the orientation will be happening tomorrow, and he'll be given his captain's coat there. So after this, Byakuya and Ichigo would have head out, and they would have walked over to this certain place in the Kuchiki household. And by the way, they would have been at his Hisana's memory place. So it was in the same place as Masaki. They were going to visit Masaki, but they were kind of buried in the same place. So yeah, kind of feels awkward. So then Byakuya would tell Ichigo that he has something to tell him, and I'm speaking really quiet for this so I can really get the effect. This isn't ASMR, so calm down. So pretty much Byakuya would tell Ichigo that he's gonna make him the head of the Kuchi clan, the 27th head. Yeah, I think, or no, Byakuya's the 28th. So then Ichigo would be the 29th. But basically Ichigo's not gonna be the head of the clan right at that moment, but sooner, maybe in 50 to 100 years. And that's not long. That's pretty quick. So Ichigo would kind of be a little proud at that. He's going to be a head of the clan. That's going to be really cool because now he can change something in Soul Society. He's one of the head of the 5 great nobles clans, or at least he's going to be. So then they would pretty much, Byakuya and Ichigo, they'd kind of chill for the rest of the night. I don't know, drink tea, whatever they do. Oh, I know what they definitely do. They would definitely do that art that Byakuya does. I actually don't know the exact name, but he does this painting, but with a huge, I guess you can say, I don't really know how you call it. I'm gonna have to search it up. But basically, they would kind of paint for the rest of the night while drinking some tea. As if you see in the Shinigami, the 30 seconds after an episode or before, it shows Kon in the intro before they would show Renji hanging out with the captains. First they would hang out with Yamamoto, then they would hang out with Unohana, and Yachiro is literally eating flowers, and other stuff like that. This part, it shows their painting, and yeah, with Byakuya. So it would have been quite cool. So yeah, after that night, the next day Ichigo would have went to his orientation, I guess it's called, before he would be given his captain's cloak, and it would have the number 10 Sanji on it, not the kanji, not the Sanji, kanji. And he would head over to the 10th squad, the quadrants area. So once he would get there, he would meet up with Toshiro and Rangiko, and he can obviously, from his first look, Rangiko is quite the slack off, and she's the lieutenant, so he knew automatically he was gonna make Toshiro the lieutenant. Toshiro actually put him he was really strong, so that day he would have made Toshiro the lieutenant, and Toshiro he wasn't that disappointed since at least he got a promotion some way. So he was either gonna get captain or he's gonna get lieutenant. Rangiku didn't really care that she became third sea because that was just less work, and that means she can just slack off a little less, or she can do all the work pretty easily, then slack off. But whatever it is. Then after this, Ichigo would pretty much start to like, I wouldn't say like whip the members, but like he would have put them through some like training, like they would have greatly increased. Like after maybe a few months, the 10th squad would have dramatically increased. They would have became maybe the second or third best squad, kind of behind the second squad and the 11th squad. So they would have became quite powerful in their own way. So yeah, after Ichigo would have settled down, this was gonna be his home for a while. Not his home, but like this is the place where people are gonna admire him. People are gonna follow him in a sense, and he's just gonna be chill. So yeah, this will be the end of this part on Ichigo's royal journey, part 2. And since you're already on my channel and you didn't sub, you just do it. One click away. You don't even have to pay for it. All you have to do is have a Google account. And you can even lie about your age. Nobody's going to do anything about it. Google ain't going to dox you or something. No. I mean, why would Google blackmail you? Never mind. But basically, definitely make a sub. And like I said in the last video, hit that bell notification. You need to see all the notification when I post part 3 and when Mysta posts any part. So this is very important. All right, if you want to go to my channel and subscribe, that's definitely up to you. If you like this video, if you like Ichigo what ifs, Bleach what ifs, like literally there isn't much. If you search up what if Ichigo, you'll either see my videos or someone else's videos, but like only like a few people do Bleach what ifs, and they're not even serious about it like I am. So without further ado, guys, have a good day.